Hello everyone. Today we will discuss bivariate discrete probability distribution. So recall that what do you mean by probability distribution? So let x be a random variable. Let x be a single random variable with its probability p of x. With its probability p of x. Then it is called probability distribution. Simply probability distribution. X with p of x is called simply probability distribution. In case of a discrete random variable, the probability distribution or the discrete probability distribution for a single random variable x is given by, let x assumes the x1, x2, x3 and so on xn values with the corresponding probability p of x, that is p of x1, p of x2, p of x3 and so on p of xn. Then we have the following table: the values of x, x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, and the value of p of x, p of x1, p of x2, p of x3 and so on p of xn. Then the random variable x corresponding to its probability p of x is called probability distribution. Since we consider the discrete random variable, that's why it's called discrete probability distribution, and we assume only the single random variable x. That's why simply we call it as a discrete probability distribution. If you have the two variables, then in that case we'll call that as a bivariate discrete probability distribution. So since we have only one variable, that's why it's called simply discrete probability distribution. Now to understand this bivariate discrete probability distribution, we have to understand some concept. So the first is that joint probability law. Joint probability law. So assume that there are two random variables x and y. X and y are said to be jointly distributed. The two variables x and y are said to be jointly distributed if they are defined on a same probability space. If they are defined on a same probability space. Just consider one random experiment. So whatever the outcome we are getting, so to denote that outcome, suppose we are using two random variables. Consider one random experiment. So obviously we get some result, some outcome, and suppose that these outcomes are denoted by the two random variables x and y. They are denoted by the two random variables x and y. So if x and y denote the outcome of a same space, same probability space, okay, then such a random variables are called jointly distributed. So obviously the outcome of a random experiment is in the form of two tuples x and y. Obviously the elements of a sample space or the sample points, they are in the form x and y, x comma y, the ordered pair x comma y. So such a random variables x and y are called jointly distributed. Then we'll discuss what is joint probability function. Let x and y are the random variables defined on a same sample space S with respect to the image set x and y. That x assumes the value x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, and y assumes the value y1, y2 and y3 and so on ym. Then if you take the cross product x cross y, if you take the cross product here x cross y, that is a cross product of these into the probability space, and if you define the probability, for the ordered pair xi comma yi, if you take the cross product here, so obviously the cross product contain mn elements. Obviously the cross product contain mn elements, and for those mn elements, if you define the probability here for those ordered pair xi comma yi, if you define a probability here, then that probability is given by p of x equal to xi comma y equal to yi. For this ordered pair, the probability is defined as p of capital X equal to xi and y equal to yj. Then, and shortly we can write it as a p of xi comma yi, p of xi comma yj, p of xi comma yj, or simply pij also. Okay. So then the function p defined on the product x cross y, which is defined by this one, p of xi comma y, x equal to xi, y equal to yj, or simply it is denoted by pij. It is called joint probability function. It is called the joint probability function, that we are going to obtain the probability on the two variables xi and yj. So such a probability is known as joint probability function, and which is given by the following table. And here the x values are there in the first column, x1, x2, x3 and so on xn. In the first row y values are there, y1, y2, y3 and so on yn. if you take a cross product here, you will get these mn elements, that x, the product of x1 y1 x1 y2 and so on. And if you define a priority here, the priority of x takes x1 value and y take y1 value, that is given as p of x1 y1, p of x1 y1, and shortly we can write it as a p11. The first index denote the x value and the second index denote the y value, corresponding y value. So p11 it means that p of x equal to x1 and y equal to y1. Similarly, p of 1 comma 2, it means that x equal to x1 and y equal to y2. So p of x1 comma y2. Similarly, p13, it means that p of x equal to x1 and y equal to y3. P of x equal to x1 and y equal to y3. Similarly, you can obtain all the priorities here. X equal to x1 and y equal to yj, which is denoted by p1j, p1j, and similarly p1m, x equal to x1 and y equal to ym, p1m. In this way, you have to obtain all the probabilities here. These are the mn probabilities. All these are the mn probabilities. So such a distribution is known as discrete probability distribution or joint probability distribution, because we have the two random variables. And if you keep x equal to x1, if you keep x equal to x1 and just changing the value of y equal to y1, y equal to y2, y equal to y3 and so on, so that denote the first row. In the first row, x equal to x1 is there, and the remaining only y values are changing. Y equal to y1, y equal to y2, y equal to y3 and so on, y equal to yj, y equal to ym. And if you take the sum of all these, where x is same, x is not changing, x is uniform, only the y values are changing here, y1, y2, y3 and so on, yn. If you take the sum here, then it is denoted by p1 dot, that x equal to x1 is same here, it's not changing, and we are changing the value of y. Okay, that's why we're denoting it by dot. Okay. So such a sum is known as marginal probability function, that x is same throughout this one. In the first row, observe that in the first row the value of x is x equal to x1 is the same here, and only the value of y is varying from 1 to m. That's why we are denoting it by p1 dot. Okay. It's a sum of all the probabilities where y varies from 1 to m and x equal to x1 only. X equal to x1 only. So which is denoted by p1 dot, which is known as marginal probability function x. Marginal probability function x, and which is also known as the marginal distribution function. If you take the sum of all these, then it is also known as marginal distribution function, which is denoted by fx suffix x, that we are summing over the values of y. We are taking the summation over the values of y, whereas the value of x is same, whereas the value of x is not changing, x equal to x1 only, x equal to x1 only, and we are taking summation over the value of y, which is denoted by fx of x equal to x1. Fx of x equal to x1 means we are keeping x fixed. We are keeping that the random variable capital X as a fix. We are keeping the random variable capital X as a fix here, that is which is x equal to x1, and we are taking summation over all the values of y. So it's a marginal distribution function of x. Similarly, you can find the marginal distribution function of y. So if you observe the first column, in the first column y1 is same, y1 is not changing here, whereas the value of x1 is changing, x1, x2, x3 and so on, xn. The value of x is changing here, x1, x2, x3 and so on, xn. So if you take the sum of all these, then it's known as marginal distribution function of y. It means that y is constant, y is not changing here. We are taking the value of y as a y1 only, and we are changing the value of x, x1, x2, x3 and so on. We are taking the summation of all these. So it's called marginal distribution function of y. And this complete table is known as joint probability distribution. It is known as joint probability distribution, or simply it is known as joint discrete probability distribution. Joint discrete probability distribution, because we have to consider the discrete values of x and y. X and y are the discrete random variable. Now the joint probability mass function is given by, In the previous classes we discussed that the simply priority mass function for a single random variable. But now here we have the two random variables, capital X and capital Y. That's why we have the joint priority mass function. So assume that capital X and capital Y are the joint random variables with the two joint discrete random variables with the joint priority function P of xi yj for all y x all I for all I and j. Then P of xi comma yj is called joint priority mass function if it satisfies the two conditions, that the priority for P of xi comma yj for all I comma j is greater than or equal to 0. That already we have seen in the previous classes. For a single variable, the priority is always non-negative, and if you take the sum of all priorities, summation of all the priorities equal to 1. Summation of all the priorities equal to n, where I equal to 1 to n and j equal to 1 to m. Summation of all the priority equal to 1. So such a priority function is known as a joint priority mass function. A joint priority function P of xi comma yj is known as joint priority mass function if it satisfies the two conditions, that the joint priority is non-negative and summation of all the joint priority equal to 1. Then the joint distribution function. Already we have seen for the single random variable what is distribution function. So in the case of two random variables x and y, what is the joint distribution function? So consider x and y are the two random variables, two discrete random variables. Then joint distribution function, or simply joint cumulative priority function, joint cumulative priority distribution function, is denoted by capital F of x comma y. It's denoted by capital F of x comma y, and is defined as it's a summation of all the priorities where x is less than or equal to that value x, and this random variable capital Y is less than or equal to that value y. Or simply it is given by summation of all x less than or equal to x, summation of y all y is less than or equal to y, P of x equal to x and y equal to y. So this is joint distribution function. Then already we discussed the marginal priority in the previous slides. Okay. So the marginal distribution function is given by where x and y are the two joint discrete random variable with the priority P of xi and yj for all yj. Then the marginal distribution function of x is denoted by fx of x. The marginal distribution function of x is denoted by fx of x, and the marginal distribution function of y is denoted by fy of y, and it is given by fx of x is given as summation of all x less than or equal to x. Summation of all x less than or equal to x. It means that x is less than or equal to x where y is less than or equal to infinity. It means we are considering all values of y for some particular value of x. For some particular value of x, we are taking sum of all the values of y. We are taking sum of all the values of y. That's why we are writing y is less than or equal to infinity. And it's some particular value of x. Suppose that x takes a value x1. Suppose that x takes a value x1 here. So for x is less than or equal to x1, you have to take the sum of all the values of y. See in the table, it's nothing but your first row. Consider the joint distribution table in the previous slide. So it's nothing but the first row, which is a first row here, which is that when if you take x equal to x1 here, then it's a summation of all the entries of the first row in the table. So you have to consider for all y values, y equal to y1, y2, y3 and so on, ym, and summation of all these is nothing but f of x1, which is nothing but f of x1. So which is also denoted by summation of over y, x is less than or equal to x1, x is less than or equal to x, and y equal to y. Similarly, the marginal distribution function fy is given by fy of y is nothing but p of y is less than or equal to y. That is, you have to take summation over all values of x. You have to take summation over all values of x for some particular value of y. For some particular value of y. It means that we are taking summation in the joint priority distribution table. You have to take some as a column wise. So if you take the particular value of y as a y1, if you take capital Y equal to y1, then it's a sum of the first column, sum of the all entries of the first column. It is given by this one. Okay. Y is less than equal to y, and you have to take sum over all x. So if you take sum over all x, then it's a marginal distribution function of y. We are taking summation over all x, so it is marginal distribution function of y. We are keeping y as a constant, y as a fix. And if you take sum over all y, it means that you are keeping x as a fix. You are keeping x as a fix. So it is denoted by marginal distribution function of x. Marginal distribution function of x. Now consider one example. Suppose that 3 balls are randomly selected from a urn containing 3 red, 4 black and 5 blue balls. So a bag contains 12 balls. Out of that 12 balls, 3 balls are red, 4 balls are black and 5 balls are blue. And we are selecting 3 balls randomly. And let x and y denote the number of red balls and black balls are chosen. Let x and y denote, x denote the number of red balls are selected, y denote number of black balls are selected. Then the joint probability mass function, that is denoted by Pij, that is P of x equal to I, y equal to j, where Ij denote the number of red balls and white balls are selected respectively. Then we have to find the joint probability mass function for x and y. So actually there are 12 balls. There are 3 red, 4 black and 5 blue balls. So there are 12 balls, and out of that 12 we are selecting 3 balls. So in how many ways we can select the 3 balls among the 12 balls? Okay. That is given by 12C3. That is 12 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 12 minus 3 factorial. And if you simplify that, which is here 220. So there are 220 ways to select the 3 balls from a bag which contain 12 balls. Now see what are the possibilities. Since there are 3 types of balls, red, black and blue, and our aim is to select only 3 balls. So see what are the possibilities here. Okay. So either we can select all 3 balls which are blue. It means that there is 0 red, 0 black. Okay. We are selecting only 3 balls. The possibility that all the 3 balls are blue. Okay. Or there is a possibility that the 2 balls are blue, 1 is black and 0 red. There is a possibility that there is no red ball. Whatever the 3 balls they are selected, there is only one that contain 1 black and 2 blue. Or there is a possibility that it contain only 0 red, 2 black and 1 blue. Okay. Or it contain all the 3 blacks, 0 red and 0 blue. Or it contain 1 red, 0 black, 2 blue and so on. Either it contain 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue and so on. So these are the possibilities. These are the some possibilities. Okay. These are the possibilities of getting black and blue balls. So see the combinations here. There is a possibility that there is a 0 red ball is get selected, 0 red ball is drawn, 1 red ball is drawn, 2 red ball is drawn and 3 red balls are selected. Similarly, 0 red ball, 0 black balls are selected, 1 black ball are selected, 3 black balls are selected. Since x denote the red ball and y denote the black ball, so the possible values of these random variables x and y, they are this one, x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and y equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So the probability of getting no red ball, no black ball are selected. 3 balls are drawn, but all the 3 are blue. It means that all the 3 are blue. Okay. So the number of ways to selecting 0 red ball out of 3 balls, that is 3C0, that is only one way. Okay. Number of ways to select 0 black ball out of 4 black balls, that is 4C0, that is done by one way. And the number of ways to select 3 blue balls out of 5 balls, that is 5C3, that is there are 10 ways. So the probability of getting 0 red and 0 black, because we assume that x denote the red number of red balls and y denote the number of black balls. So the probability of getting 0 red and 0 black ball, that is given by this formula. So which is nothing but 10 by 220. Okay. Since 0 red balls are selected, so there are 3C0 ways to select 0 red ball 4C0 ways to select 0 black ball and 5C3 ways to select 3 blue balls. So there are the probability of getting 0 red and 0 black is 10 by 220. Similarly, that if suppose there is no red ball, only one black ball gets selected, it means that 2 balls are blue. 2 balls are blue here. So the number of ways of selecting 0 red and 1 black, 0 red and 1 black is given by P of 0, 1, 0 red and 1 black, x equal to 0, y equal to 1. That is obtained by 40 by 220. So in a similar way, we can evaluate all the probabilities. That 0 red balls get selected, and 2 black balls are selected. So 0 red and 2 black, that is obtained by this formula. So we get 30 by 20. 0 red and 3 black, 1 red and 0 black, that is 30 by 220. 1 red, 1 black, that is 60 by 220. 1 red, 2 blacks, 2 red, 0 black, 2 red, 1 black, 3 red, 0 black. And the joint probability distribution is given here. Here x denotes the number of red balls. So there is a possibility that 0 red ball gets selected, 1 red ball gets selected, 2 red ball gets selected, 3 red ball gets selected. Okay. And y denote the number of black balls. So there is a possibility that 0 white ball gets selected, 1 white ball gets selected, 2 white ball and 3 white ball gets selected, and so on. Okay. So these are the probabilities, joint probability function. That probability of getting 0 red ball and 0 black ball, that is 10 by 220. Probability of getting 0 red ball and 1 black ball, that is 40 by 220. Probability of getting 0 red ball and 2 black ball, that is 30 by 220. Probability of getting 0 red ball and 3 black ball, that is 4 by 220. Similarly, the probability of getting 1 red and 0 black, 1 red and 1 black, 1 red and 2 black, and 1 red and 3 black, that is not possible because we are selecting only the 3 balls. 1 red and 3 black means there are 4 balls. So that is not possible. That's why we are writing a 0. Similarly, 2 red and 0 black, that is 15 by 20. 2 red, 1 black. 2 red, 2 black, that is the balls are increased 4. That is not possible here because we are selecting only 3 balls. Okay. 2 red and 2 black, that counts the 4 balls, which is 0. So again, these are the zeros. And 3 red and 0 black, that is 1 by 20, and so on. And if you take the sum here, if you observe that here the first row in this table, okay, denote that 0 red balls get selected. When 0 red balls are there, then 0 black, what is the probability of getting 0 black ball, 1 black ball, 2 black ball, 3 black ball. So if you take the sum of all these, then it's a 840 by 220. Okay. So it's a marginal distribution function fx of 0 when x is 0 here. That is sum of all the probability where x is 0. Similarly, the marginal distribution function of x when x equal to 1, fx of 1, x equal to 1, which is given by this sum of all values of y varying from 0 to 3. Okay, and x is 1 only. So it's a marginal distribution function of x with capital X equal to 1. And it's a marginal distribution function of x with capital X equal to 2 with capital X equal to 3. Similarly, this last row denote the marginal distribution function of y with y equal to 0, y equal to 1, y equal to 2, y equal to 3. So when y equal to 0 here, x is changing from 0 to 3. That's a summation of all the probability where y equal to 0, y is fixed here, and the value of x is changing from 0 to 3, and so on. And if you take that, if you observe that the sum of all these probabilities equal to 1, summation of all these probabilities equal to 1. Now consider the next example. Suppose that 15% of the families in a certain community have no child, means that 15% of the family have no children, 20% have only one child, 5% families have the 2 children, 30% family have the 3 children. Suppose further in each family, each child is equally likely to be a boy or girl. So suppose that the each family have a boy or girl, the probability is equally likely. The probability is same. If a family is chosen randomly from this community, okay, then suppose B denote the number of boys, B is a random variable which denote the number of boys, and G is a random variable which denote the number of girls in the family. Then we have to construct the joint probability distribution table. We have to construct the joint probability distribution table. Okay. So let B denote the number of boys and G denote the number of girls. Okay. It is given that 50% families have no children, no child. So since no children is there, so there is no boy, no girl. Okay. So P of B equal to 0 and G equal to 0, okay, is 0.15. 15% is 0.15. So the probability of B equal to 0 and G equal to 0 is 0.15. Now it is given that 20% families have only one child. 20% families have only one child, and that child may be a boy or girl. That child may be a boy or a girl. Okay. So we have the following possibilities. That child is a girl, that is one possibility, that is G equal to 1, or that child is a boy. Okay. So assume that child is a girl here. So if there is a girl, it means that there is no boy. So B equal to 0, G equal to 1, because we have only one child. We have only one child, and we assume that child is a girl. First we assume the case that child is a girl. So B equal to 0 and G equal to 1. So the probability of getting one girl, okay, that probability of getting one girl, given that the total childs are 1, the family has only one child. Okay. So since there is only one child, okay, so the probability of getting one child is obtained by the binomial distribution. Okay. Let us assume that since only we have one child here, so n equal to 1, and assume that Q denote the probability of getting a girl. Q denote the probability of getting a girl. Okay. So a child may be a boy or girl. So it is and it is given that it is equally distributed. It is equally distributed. So Q is 1 by 2. Q is 1 by 2. So the probability of getting one girl by binomial distribution is by the formula NCR Q raised to R P raised to N minus R. That is, N is 1 here, so 1 C1 Q raised to 1 P raised to 0. That is, we are getting 1 by 2. So the probability of getting girl is 1 by 2. So the probability of getting one child, the probability of getting one child in a family, in such a family, and that child is a girl. So P of getting one child into one girl. So which is P of one child, P of G equal to 1, which is 0.2, because 20% families have only one child. So the probability of getting one child in a family, that is 20%, 0.20, into the probability of getting one girl, that is 1 by 2. So it is 0.1. So the probability of getting G equal to 1 is 0.1. That is, there is no boy, P of B equal to 0 and G equal to 1, which is 0.10. 0.10. Similarly, there is a possibility that that child is a boy. Okay. So which is obtained by the binomial distribution. Here the number of child is 1 here, and Q is the probability of getting girl child and P is the probability of getting boy child. So the probability of boy, again, which is obtained by the binomial distribution, which is 1 by 2. So the probability of getting one boy from that family, probability of getting one boy from that family. So the probability of one child into probability of one boy of that child, probability of one boy from one child. So it's a P of one child, probability of one child into one probability of one boy, and the probability of one child is 0.2 and the probability of boy is 1 by 2. So it's a 0.10. So P of B equal to 1 and G equal to 0, because there is only one child, okay, and that child is a boy, so there is no girl here. So P of B equal to 1 and G equal to 0, that is 0.10. Similarly, 30% families have two children. Okay. So since there are two children, so there are three possibilities. That two children are two boys, all are 2 girls, or 1 boy, 1 girl. Okay. There are two possibilities. All the 2 children are boys, all the 2 children are girls, and there is one possibility that 1 boy and 1 girl. Okay, so we have to consider all these 3 cases while evaluating the probability for such families which have 2 children. So it is given that the probability of the community have 35% families have the 2 children. So the probability of 2 children in the community, in the society, is 0.35. Since we have the 2 children, so assume the first case that 2 children are girls. Assume the first case that 2 children are girls. Okay. So by binomial distribution, we have the probability of 2 girls among the 2 children. The probability of 2 girls among the 2 children is obtained by this binomial distribution, 2C2 q raised to 2 p raised to 0, that is 1 by 4. Okay. So the probability of 2 children in that community, the probability of 2 children in that community, it means that the 2 children are girls. The probability of 2 children which are girls in that community is given by, since the 2 are girls here, so there is no boy. 2 are girls here, so there is no boy. So the probability of 2 children in the community into the probability of 2 girl child. The probability of 2 girl child, which is nothing but 0.35. 35% chance is that community or that society have the 2 children into the probability of 2 girls, that is 1 by 2. So 0.35 into 1 by 4, that is 0.0875. Okay. So the probability of P of B equal to 0 and G equal to 2 is 0.0875. Similarly, you have to evaluate the probability of 2 boy in that community. So which is given by the same thing, we will get the same answer. The probability of 2 boy children, 2 child which are boys, which is 0.0875, the same thing. Okay. Now suppose that the one is boy and one is girl. Okay. So the probability of getting 1 boy and 1 girl out of the 2 children. Okay. So by binomial distribution, suppose there are 2 children are there, and the probability of getting 1 boy, that is 2C1 p raised to 1 q raised to 1, that is 1 by 2. Okay. Since 1 boy is there, so automatically the second child, one child is a boy, so automatically the second child is a girl. Okay. So P of B equal to 1 is nothing but 1 by 2. Okay. That is, it means that P of B equal to 1 and G equal to 1, because among the 2 children, if one is boy, then obviously the second is girl. So there is no need to separately calculate P of G equal to 1. Okay. So P of B equal to 1, it means that P of B equal to 1 comma G equal to 1, which is 1 by 2. Now the probability of getting 1 boy, 1 girl child among the 2 children, such that given that the 2 children in the family has only the two children, which is given by 0.35 into 1 by 2, that is 0.175. 0.175. So the probability of getting 1 boy and 1 girl is 0.175. Similarly, you have to evaluate the all remaining, that the 30% families have the 3 children. 30% families in the community, 30% families have the 3 children. So there are 4 possibilities, that 3 children all are boys, the 3 children all are girls, 2 are boys and 1 is girl, obviously, or 1 is boy, 2 are girl. 1 is boy and 2 are girl. So we have B equal to 3. The random variable G has value 3, B equal to 2, G equal to 1, and B equal to 1, G equal to 2. So we have to evaluate the probabilities for all these. Okay. So given that in the community, the probability that 30% families have the 3 children, so the probability of 3 children in the community is 0.30, and that all 3 are the girls. All 3 are the girls is given by 0.0375. Okay. So the probability of 3 girls is obtained by using binomial distribution, which is 1 by 8 here. Similarly, the probability of getting two girls, is given by 0.375, and the probability of getting three boys is given by, so we have evaluated all these, the probability of getting two boys, one girls, probability of getting one boy, two girls, and so on. So if you put in the table, then we get the joint probability distribution table as this one, where here G denote the number of girls, 0 girls, 1 girl, 2 girl, 3 girl. Here B denote the number of boys, 0 boy, 1 boy, 2 boys, and 3 boys. So the probability of getting 0 girls and 0 boy, that is 0.15. The probability of having 0 girl and 1 boy, that is 0.1. The probability of having 0 girl and 2 boys, 0 girls and 3 boys. Similarly, the probability of 1 girl and 0 boy, 1 girl, 1 boy, 1 girl, 2 boys, and so on. Take these few examples for your practice. Try to solve these examples, and if you are getting any difficulty, mention in the comment. I will give you the answers in the next video.